Hello everyone, please choose the region where you want to create your directory service in AWS. Now search for the directory service. It will open a console that is in manage directory service, and you have to click on the setup directory. Here is the three options that you have to choose: the AWS manage AD, then next, then click on the standard. Now you can define your Active Directory name which you want to keep, like in google.com or something else. Just I'm mentioning devopstech.com, and it will be your domain name of your Active Directory. And now you can put up any name that you want to show as a domain alias in the NetBIOS. And this password you have to set, which is used for admin, and this password will be used to your first login on the credential. Now choose your subnets where you want to create the directory service on the different availability zone. Click on next, and then create directory. You can validate all the things here, and now it has started to create your Active Directory in the background. And if you click on this directory ID, that is unique for each directory service which you create in your AWS. Currently it is now in creating state. Now you can see that it is still creating the directory ID. You can see that it has been created, and it is created in the two availability zones, and you have two address of the DNS of the domain, and both will be used to communicate with your Active Directory from the client machine. You can check the other features, other options that have different purposes. We will look after once we have created this, then what are the mean of these features and where we can use these features. But currently we do not require this feature. Now our directory has been set up. Then how can we access this Active Directory? So for that we should have a EC2 instance of a Windows. So I'm just going to launch a Windows EC2 instance. You can also use this. Click on instance and the launch instance, and then you could choose your AMI as a Windows and create a name as you wish that you want to store here. I'm just selecting the 2016 base of the image here. You can create the key pairs to generate your passwords of your Windows EC2 instance. Now create the key pairs. It will be downloaded to your folder location, and that will be used to generate the password of Windows Server to log in on the first time. So it's downloaded. Keep the storage as 30 GB as showing here. and click on launch instance. Now if you refresh in your instance dashboard, it will show you a server that is started to create, and it will take up to 2 to 4 minutes to be up and running. Then we can use the remote desktop option to access this Windows server from anywhere. In the details, you can see it's initializing. We can wait up to 2 minutes to be up and running. Then we can access the remote desktop connections. Till then we can't do this, so I'm waiting. So this is the public IP. There are two IP will be assigned to the EC2 instance. The first one is a private IP and the second is a public IP. The public IP will be used to access the remote desktop connection, because public IP communicates with external network. Now we have to get the password. Just click on the security and get Windows password, and you have to browse that PAM key pair that you have downloaded during the launch instance, and it will be in decrypt your the administrator password. Now you have to use the password to log in the server. It's trying to connect. So it means that server is not ready yet, so it's taking some time. Okay, let's try it again. So let's see the status of the server. Is it up or running? That is running instead. We will try again. Let's see the again status if it is running. It should not take more time. So let's have check if any issue in the RDP connections. Okay, I'm using the another RD gateway which is not related to this. I just removed the RD gateway from the advanced option settings and will connect the server directly. Password, enter, and now it's asking for to connect the server. Server is launching. So now this is the base servers. So we don't have installed the ADS services and the DNS tools. So we need to go on the server manager on the server, and we have to add a role and features of Active Directory and the DNS management tool. So just click on the Windows button and then server manager. It will take a 5 to 10 seconds to open. Now it's saying that it's still busy, so we have to wait 5 to 10 seconds. Now yes, It's open now. Just click on the next, next, and now check the third options. Second option for the Active Directory domain services, and next. Now in the remote administrator tools, you have to select the DNS management tool here. Now click next and install. It will take 2 to 5 minutes to complete the installation. There is no restart required. I'm just going to pause the video and will come back once it will on. Now you can check installation has been completed. Now if you go on the to connect the Active Directory from the client machine, we have to configure the DNS IP which we get in the directory service and need to configure in the DNS section of this client machine to communicate the domain server. Just click on advanced DNS and then add the both IP addresses that we get from AWS directory service. Oh, sorry, I'm just pasting another one. Copy it again. Okay, now add the second IP. It is used to connect the DNS. If you will not configure, then it will not communicate to the Active Directory to join the machine into the domain. So it's very mandatory steps that you have to follow. Then OK. Click on OK. Okay. Now open the Windows Explorer and right click on this PC and click on the properties. So on the change settings, click on change, and now click on the domain and the same domain name which you specified during the directory service, that is a devopstech.com. It will ask for the user and password, and that is the default username is admin, and the password is to use which you entered during creating the services, directory services. Now it says that you have joined the domain successfully. Just click on OK and then OK and then close. It will ask for the restart, that is a mandatory to be replicate the server into the bin domain. It's restarting now. I'm going to pause the video. Now we can log in the server again, and now this time you have to use the domain name like a DevOps team. Now you have to use your admin ID and passwords of Active Directory. Now it will log in with your Active Directory admin user account because it is joined your machine into the domain successfully. From here, you can access the Active Directory Domain Services console and the DNS management console, from where you can operate as admin level and you can perform all the actions whatever required to configure your Active Directory, that is related to the groups, OUs and group policies, anything. And the DNS, you can create multiple records if you required anything customization, if you have multiple DNS. So the machine is just being ready. Now you have to open the Active Directory services. Just click on the Windows button and the server manager. Then tools, click on the Active Directory Domain and Services. Now see, you have your domain name here and the NetBIOS name, and now by default you have computers and users OUs here. Now you can configure according to your project or your organization in requirement. And if you want to see the DNS, the same step you have to perform on the tools and click on DNS. And the first time you have to enter your DNS name. I'm typing devopstack.com. Now if you double click on here, it will show all the records, the forward lookup zone and the reverse lookup zone, and you can configure accordingly to your requirement. That's it. Thank you.